ELPC recently hosted Dr. Rajendra K. Pachauri for an intensive visit to Chicago. Dr. Pachauri is chair of the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change. Last year, the IPCC won the Nobel Peace Prize for its work on climate change, along with co-recipient Al Gore. ELPC organized the visit to highlight the policy changes that are needed now to address global warming and to reinforce the importance of acting soon.
Warming of the climate system is unequivocal. We now have so much evidence based on observations. We have so much of scientific assessment that the whole issue of climate change should not be questioned in terms of its actual happening. It is happening.
ELPC co-hosted events with Chicago Mayor Richard Daley, the Chicagoland Chamber of Commerce, and the Chicago Community Trust. Dr. Pachauri met with senior staff from the Illinois Governor's Office, business executives, philanthropic leaders, environmental organizations, and local media. The IPCC's work stresses the importance of acting quickly to help mitigate the disastrous effects of global warming.
The Midwest is responsible for 26% of the greenhouse gas pollution in the United States and more than 5% of the greenhouse gas pollution in the world. That's more than any country other than China, India, Japan, and Russia. Our region, the Midwest, more greenhouse gas pollution than Germany, France, Canada, Mexico. We are the center of the problems because of the large number of coal plants and because we're the center of the nation's transportation system and pollution coming from cars and trucks and rail and buses and airplanes. But we can be part of the center of the solutions as we figure out how to be more energy efficient in terms of buildings, more energy efficient in our homes and businesses, develop renewable energy resources. Illinois right now has more wind power under development than any state in the country, 6,000 megawatts, any state in the country other than Texas. We're a leader here on that. And when it comes to transportation, we have to do it better. We got to get it right. We need cars to get 50 miles a gallon or more. We need a public transit system that works and works well. And we need a regional rail system that enables people to go from city to city around the Midwest without relying entirely upon cars or airplane cutbacks out of O'Hare and otherwise. The good news is the Environmental Law and Policy Center, our colleagues in Chicago and our colleagues around the Midwest are working hard to make a difference, and I think we can be a part of those solutions. And they're coming, and as Dr. Pachauri will describe to you, they need to come and happen fast.
We have clearly stated in the fourth assessment report of the IPCC that warming of the climate system is unequivocal. And that's an issue which, on a scientific basis, should really be put to rest. Not that one is concerned about dissent or questioning of science. I mean, in a free society, that's bound to happen. But I think the evidence is now so overwhelming that we really need to start on a basis of acceptance and then decide what to do. I also want to emphasize the fact that climate change is not something that's going to be smooth and linear. There are going to be all kinds of impacts. We are seeing them already, and these include extreme precipitation events. These include more intense and more frequent floods and droughts, impacts on agriculture, on human health, and a whole range of other variables. I mean, in some parts of the world, the sheer melting because of temperature increase is causing. So, there's a whole set of impacts that we need to adapt to because we have built in a certain inertia, as a result of which, even if we were to stabilize the concentration of these gases at the levels that we have today, climate change will continue for a few decades. But we also have to accept the fact that if we don't do something about the problem, the impacts will become much worse over a period of time. And they'll go far beyond the capacity of nations to adapt to those changes. So therefore, we need to mitigate the emissions of greenhouse gases. Now, here we have to be concerned about losing sight of the real issues because we do realize today the problem that we have with high oil prices, with rapidly increasing food prices, could very well take our attention away to immediate problems. But if we do that, then we would have lost sight of the roots of the problem. And the roots of the problem really are an excessive dependence on fossil fuels, which lead to issues of energy insecurity, but they also lead to climate change. The real issues are the fact that we have caused an imbalance in the atmosphere of the Earth, which is leading to climate change. And that's going to exacerbate some of the problems that we are facing today. Agricultural yields, for instance, with climate change are likely to go down. We already have evidence of that happening. So I think we really shouldn't miss the wood for the trees. We have to make sure that we tackle the real root problems that are causing some of these crises that we are facing today.
ELPC is advancing solutions that can make a difference. Clean renewable energy, energy efficiency programs, growing the green economy, and advocating for strong climate policies in the Midwest and Great Plains states. Visit us at elpc.org to learn more and get involved.